Hi everyone, and welcome to TWF Rampage or Ram Through. I, Mike Lane, Tony Schiavone, and Paulie Dangerously here. And today on Rampage or Ram Through, we are going to see the Women's World Heavyweight Fighter here today when Becky Lynch has another open dare here today on Rampage or Ram Through. Mike Lane says. You got that right, Tony Schiavone says. Mike, we're going to be seeing, Becky Lynch, the Women's World Heavyweight Fighter open dare here today on Rampage or Ram Through. Well, I can tell you one thing, Paulie Dangerously says. Io Shirai hasn't been putting her winnings on stake as much as Becky Lynch has. And you soon know, sooner or later, those two are going to meet, because I truly think that at the end of the day, Io Shirai would be angry at Becky Lynch since she has her winnings on stake more than she does. Paulie Dangerously says. And I think the Wounded Led a Rooted run is bound to get some new followers sooner or later. Alright. Aha. Ho ho ho. Happy Yule. And first off, I just want to let everybody know that it's not truly Yule yet. That's like next month. We're in the 11th month, and if you're in the 401 Reichs in the 11th month, Thanksgiving, also known as Thanksgiving Day, is the next big gather and worshipful holiday. But the one we're in today is the Skilled Day. And Holy Fellow Nicholas wants to thank all of the fighters and the land might of the 4-1 Reich, either that be the land arm, sky arm, or sea arm, or anywhere between. Thank you for everything you do for us. Thank you to all the skilled, and thank you to those who are in the land might as of right now. Now, a lot of folks out there might say, Santa, why do you always got to show up in the 11th month when you know Thanksgiving or Thanksgiving Day is that one? I always come at the end of the Thanksgiving Day walk. And a lot of folks out there like to, guilt me and say, Santa, did you take Yule away from Jesus? No, I never took Yule away from Jesus. But there's a lot of folks from unlike worships out there and unlike beliefs who feel that their belief or their worship is not going to be onlooked, and believe if they don't believe in Jesus or whatever their worship is, and they'll either get irked or angry or sad and say, well, I don't believe in what you believe in, so I don't want to see it around. So out of onlook to them, in their belief and their worship, Jesus can't be around. And that's sad. Alright? And it looks like, because I would have liked to have Jesus Jesus gives you kinship. He's around all the time. I'd like him to be with me for the Thanksgiving Day walks and the Yule Day walks, and I would like it if there was a drink can with him on it, not only me. And so anyway, I did not. Oh yeah, that's right. Shit. Well, isn't it sad Santa Sada Hatku or Haiku? Yeah. The three-time AEW Women's Heavyweight Fighter. And what are you doing here? I tell you what I doing here, Holy Fellow Nicholas. I here because I want my match. And I'm telling you that I need not be on the bad list this year. Well, first off, you are either just the good list or the bad list. Now, one might say the sinful list, But then if that was true, every man and woman would be on that list because every man and woman are sinful. I want to say the unlawful list, but very few folks, are outlaws. So I don't want to go there. So you think, yeah, because all of those years when I was growing up in Dawnland, and all those years I wanted you to give me the greatest gifts there were. And I never ever got any of those gifts from you. Well, what gift were you speaking of? If you're speaking of Jesus, then you have already gotten Jesus because God had given Jesus to you as a gift. And through God and Jesus, you have forever life, your afterlife, and instead in heaven after that afterlife. No, I'm not talking about that. Even though, yeah, I did get Jesus as a gift. I'm talking about, how I always wished I wanted to be a women's heavyweight fighter, and you never made that happen. I'm not a wonder maker. You became a three-time AEW women's heavyweight fighter out of your own work and your own God-given skills. You're going to give me... Oh, it's Becky Lynch, Mike Lane said. This is getting earnest, Mike Lane says. Becky Lynch, the women's world heavyweight fighter here. That's right, Mike Lane said. Let's see what Becky Lynch has to say, because now she's going against the three-time AEW women's heavyweight fighter, Sarah Sada Haiku. Yeah, Paulie Dangerously says, the first AEW Jax doll to come to the toy wrestling gathering. So let me guess what you're doing, Sada Shakua. Or is it Santa Haiku or Haku or Haiku? I can't say that your Dawnish kin name right. So anyway, are you like a stead holder for Xia Li? Because Xia Li's not here yet and you're already starting shit? It's not about what you get for Yule. It's about who you give it to, alright? They say that it's more greater to give than to get, is what they say. And you already got a lot of gifts for Yule over the years. And one of those gifts was Jesus. Alright? You're not going to come here and start shit, because doing so would put you on the bad list. Oh, Becky Lynch, you think you're so great. Well, guess what? I'm going to take that TWF, I'm going to take that Women's World Heavyweight winnings off of you. And then I'm going to have a happy Thanksgiving, a happy Yule. Yeah. Over my dead body. I'm not going to lay down and let you take it. You're not going to bully Father Yule. Yeah, that's old. Get over it. Picking on, bullying, guilting, and shaming Father Yule has been done sundrous years and many sundrous skilled wrestling businesses. Get over it. Well, Becky Lynch, I just want to say that you're right. Folks should not be guilting and shaming me. And it's greater to give than to get. And that God gave Jesus to everyone as a gift. So here's what I'm going to do. We're already picking folks to be on my team. And I pick you, Becky Lynch, to be on Team Father Yule. Well, I thank you, Santa Claus. Whoa! Sorry about that. Gotta go now. Well, we just heard that Santa Claus has picked Becky Lynch to be on his team, Mike Lane says. And now Becky Lynch is going to get ready to fight, so I guess we call it Sada Haku, Mike Lane says. However you say that Dawnish name, or Dawnish kin name. Mike Lane said, your guess is good as mine, Tony Schiavone says. Oh, great, Paulie Dangerously says. Thank God I'm Jewish. And I don't got to deal with the whole Santa Claus thing. Anyway, It goes, this is for the women's world heavyweight winnings. First, she is from Dublin, Irishland, and she is the women's world heavyweight fighter, Becky Lynch. And she is from the Reich of Dawn. She is from Dawnland, Sada Haku, or Haiku. Sada Haku, or Haiku, Mike Lane said, just took down Becky Lynch. And I don't want to say that she's a steadholder for anyone else. Becky Lynch is in a bind right now with Haku, or Sata Haiku, who is a free-time AEW women's heavyweight fighter, Mike Lane says, a body slam. That's right, Tony Schiavone said, Haiku, or Sata Sakata, or Haku, or Haiku, can't say her name right, is a free-time AEW women's heavyweight fighter. And she is mostly a heel in AEW. And make scene that she was the first Jax AEW doll that came to the toy wrestling gathering, Tony Schiavone says. You got that right, Paulie Dangerously says. And don't take anything away from, Sata Haiku, or Haku, however you say that name. She is a very harmful wrestler, a very harmful fighter, overstar, whatever you want to call it. I think she would do great in World Wrestling Glee, but then again, that's only my thought and belief here. Paulie Danny says, and right now, Becky Lynch is in a bind right now, so much for the man sticking her nose in someone else's business and standing up for Father Yill, Paulie Dangerously says. Mike Lane says, I'll tell you what, Paulie Dangerously, wait a minute. Mike Lane says, Paulie Dangerously, Becky Lynch had every right to stand up for Father Yill because Sata Haiku, or Haku, was bullying him, Mike Lane says. And right now, Becky Lynch body slams Sata Haku, And yes, the Women's World Heavyweight Winnings is on stake here today on Rampage, or Ramfru, Mike Lane says. And I'll tell you one more thing, Tony Schiavone says, Paulie Dangerously, whoever you call yourself. I don't think Haku or Haiku Sakata has the answer, to the manhand slam. No, she doesn't. It's over, Mike Lane says. Yeah, the former free-time AEW women's heavyweight fighters in a bind, Tony Schiavone said. No, Paulie Dangerously, is kick out. 1, 2, 3. Ding, ding, ding. Here is your winner, Becky Lynch. Here is your winner, and still the women's world heavyweight fighter, Becky Lynch. Well, Becky Lynch is still the is still the women's world heavyweight fighter here in the toy wrestling gathering, Mike Lane says. And we all know that Becky Lynch has been chosen by Father Yule, Holy Fellow Nicholas, Santa Claus, whatever you want to call him, to be on his team, Mike Lane says. And tell you one thing, Becky Lynch stood up for Father Yule, and she beat Sarah Haku, the three-time AEW women's heavyweight fighter, Tony Schiavone says. Well, I can tell you one thing, Mike and Tony, Paulie Dangerously says. She is not happy. She's irked. She's angry. She's wretched. She didn't get what she wanted for Yule. I would be irked too if I didn't get what I wanted for the Gathering of Lights. And I had 8 days of it, Paulie Dangerously says. Well, now, Michael Cole now, it's 8 days of it. Well, then we all know that we all know, even if it's the Gathering of Lights, Gathering of Followership, Yule, whatever, you should need be happy for what gifts you do get, Mike Lane said. That's right, Tony Schiavone says. And Sada Haku should be happy for all the gifts she gets. Tony Schiavone says, well, now we're going to take it away to Michael Cole. All right, Mike Lane, Tony Schiavone, I'm going to be talking with Sada Haiku here today on Rampage or Ramfru. Forgive me if I want to say her name right. All right, Sata Haiku, you showed up here and bitched about how you didn't get any gifts you wanted for Yule. Well, Michael Cole, I'm going to tell you right now, the gift that I wanted, yeah, I got Jesus as a gift from God, yes, but I want to be the Women's World Heavyweight Fighter. And you see, Santa Claus or Father Yule or or Holy Fellow Nicholas, whatever you want to call him, supposed to be this wonder maker, and he never gave them yet the gift. So you wanted him to give you the Women's World Heavyweight winnings, when we all know you won the AEW Women's Heavyweight winnings 3 times with your God-given craft and skill. Yeah. And how many times have I been on this show since I came to the Toy Wrestling Gathering? None. Very rare and in between. I may have had 1 match here and there. I don't know how many matches or fights I had. I'm going to be back on the show. Call me a stead holder for Xia Li. Get real, Becky Lynch. You're a stead holder for... Shit, I don't know who you're a stead holder for. But I will get you. Well, that's my talk with, Saka Haiku. Back to you, Mike Lane and Tony Schiavone. Well, thank you, Michael Cole, for talking with Sada Haiku here today on Rampage or Ramfru. And that's all the time we got here. Mike Lane, Tony Schiavone, Paulie Dangerously. We hope you like Rampage or Ramfru, and we'll see you tomorrow.